And joining us today in our book talk segment, great to welcome author who has written a follow-up to her New York Times best-selling debut novel called Big Girl Panties. This one is called The Sweet Spot. We're joined today by Stephanie Evanovich from up in New Jersey. Actually, she's up in Connecticut today on a book tour, and we're happy to talk to her for a few minutes. And Stephanie, thanks for being with us. How are you today?
Hi, Doug. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
You are a Jersey girl, I know. I grew up in New York, so always good to talk to somebody from that part of the world.
We are a special breed.
We definitely are. Well, this book, the title alone kind of intrigued me a little bit when we had a chance to have you on the show today. Sweet spot, that's a term used. I know your character in the book is a baseball player. It's used there. It's also used in tennis as well, but it involves baseball and very interesting romance, right?
It actually does. Like that, really. I kind of like to play on words, so I go for that whenever I can.
Well, these two characters, first before we get into the story, were in the previous book, right?
They were, and they actually got quite a following. So when I suggested giving them, I sort of did it off the cuff. How about if I give them their own book? And I was thrilled to get the go-ahead, which of course presented its own challenge because it's really a prequel. But I still had an awful lot of fun writing it.
It's almost like a spin-off.
Readers have fun reading it.
It's almost like a spin-off in books. Kind of unusual.
It is, but and more than that, it's a prequel. If you read Big Girl Panties, you kind of know how it's going to end. But again, I kind of like the ride. If you can make the ride fun, I don't think the reader necessarily holds it against you that they may know how it's going to end up.
Well, when you write like you said, a prequel, so you have to kind of create more of an early story, obviously, for these two characters. That makes it a little bit of a challenge for you, right?
It was. They almost started taking over Big Girl Panties, these two characters. So I had a lot of material already there because, my editor asked me to kind of cut them back because they were starting to steal the book from, the hero and heroine of BGP. So I had a lot of story there and, kind of filled in the blanks, and boy, it was a lot of fun. I really do like these two characters.
The baseball player's name, great baseball name, by the way, Chase Walker.
Right?
That sounds like a guy that could have played or could play in the major leagues, so it's a good name.
You know what? And now all of a sudden there are like all these chases. Even the Yankees have a Chase Whitley,
right,
who I was getting close. They had just brought him up. I'll tell you, it's like a funny story. They had just brought him up, and I was kind of, when you wind down during the day, you kind of falling asleep. And I just kept hearing them saying the name Chase, and I'm kind of falling asleep thinking to myself, not knowing that they had called him up from the minors, going, I think I'm working too hard because I just keep hearing the name. And then, of course, I woke up and found out that he was, in fact, pitching for the Yankees. He's not having a bad year either, so.
No, not at all, yeah.
Go Yankees.
That's right. I don't know if you saw the All-Star game as we taped this last night. Nice ovation for Derek Jeter a couple of times. So
do you know I actually missed the game because I was finishing up with my event yesterday, and you know what? I'm strangely okay with that because when it comes to Derek Jeter, denial, it ain't just a river. I'm in complete denial.
It'll be a little sad, like with Mo Rivera last year. That last, hopefully they'll make the playoffs, but if they don't, the last regular season game will be a little sad, right?
How much can a Yankee fan take?
I know. I've been one for a long time.
They can't play forever. I get it, but darn it, you should try.
Well, the fictional baseball player, Chase Walker, and this story in The Sweet Spot is with his girlfriend and now wife, I guess, Amanda. So that's kind of the romance that you dictate there, or I guess illustrate there. I don't want to give too much away, but that's kind of a fun romance to write about.
They were so much fun to write about because they're both like really strong characters, but they also have a lot of heart. And you know what? They had a really solid friendship. That's kind of what I wanted to illustrate in this book. And it's a little spicy. He's got a spicy secret. He's a afraid to reveal. And anyone who's read Big Girl Panties knows exactly what that secret is. And they're just so much fun because, you know what, they embrace it. They don't really agonize over it too long. And, you know, the drama and the tension come from really the outside world.
Well, when you write a love story, and there's some love scenes in it, if I can use that term, is that difficult to do? I mean, I know you have to be descriptive, but how is that for you? Do you kind of talk it out? Do you write it out? Or how do you go about that? If you don't mind me asking.
My favorite part is, you know, as a young reader, you know, once I got, you know, my Judy Blues at the hidden years and, you know, started choosing reading material as an adult, I gravitated toward romance and women's fiction, and I think back then we called them novels. And I love that stuff. So it seems really kind of natural to incorporate it into my own work. You know, it didn't have too much sex scenes. I don't know. I guess you can.
But I think the key to it, and you do a good job in the book, and you do it in a way that's descriptive, creative, but still leave something to the imagination. I guess that's the key to writing like that, isn't it? Don't tell too much.
I think that. I kind of agree with that. That you know what, if you're reading, you probably have a pretty good imagination of like escape, and you don't need it all to spell out for you. You have to find it being able to
Yeah. When you do dialogue, I like to ask, particularly novelists, this: do you talk that out, or how do you go about writing dialogue? Do you enjoy writing dialogue?
I, you know, studied that craft for 30 years before I realized I wasn't going to make it. And in studying that craft, I've really learned a lot about character development. So once I developed the characters, I kind of just let them have on it as far as conversations go. And even sometimes, you know, I'm sometimes tickled when I read after I kind of just let it. Like, oh, what are you thinking that? And yet they said it on the page. So it's kind of cool. I dig it.
So do you vocally do it, or do you just write it out just on the computer or whatever you write on?
Mostly write it.
Write it out? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I may actually like have a sentence or two that I want to get in, which is, you know, the point I'm trying to make in that plot, you know, that part of the plot. But once I get the one sentence out, the rest of it is them just being their characters.
Yeah. What do you hope, and this is, I know it's kind of a typical question, but what do you hope the reader gets out of the book other than entertainment? Any kind of other thing you want people to get from the Sweet Spot?
You know what? Entertainment is it. I would love for them to maybe laugh and feel okay, and, you know, if escapism is what they were going for when they picked up the book, I hope they got to get transported to another little world for a little while. Entertainment is it. There's no greater reward.
This is the time,
being able to entertain somebody.
Yeah, time of the year when a lot of folks go to the beach and bring a book along. This fits into that category. It's called The Sweet Spot. We've been talking with Stephanie Evanovich today. Do you have a specific website you want to give out, Stephanie?
Sure. You can find me at StephanieEvanovich.com, and I'm on Facebook and Twitter, and Twitter is @Evanovich. And I actually saw a tweet come through that my publisher was giving away like it looks like a pretty good giveaway. It might even be like a Caribbean vacation.
Wow.
So you might want to follow me on Twitter and check that out. I don't think I'm eligible.
I don't know if I am either, but I'll check it out.
But I was like, I saw that come through just before you called. I was like, wow, this sounds awesome. I don't think I can enter. Whatever.
Well, your book will sell a lot of copies. You can afford to go. That's where you have to look at it.
I'll meet you there.
We'll meet you there. Right?
Whoever wins, I'll be there waiting for you.
Stephanie, pleasure to talk to you for a few minutes. Again, enjoy the book tour, and as we say, go Yankees. Thanks for being with us.